Welcome to the South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report. I'm Heath, and it's time to get into the bite. All right, folks, welcome to the show. South Florida's ultimate resource for everything local fishing. We're going to go over what's biting, who's catching it, where it's being caught. We're also going to go over your future marine forecast, your tide phases, tide charts, and moon phases. I always get that mixed up. Anyway, before we get into this, if you want to learn more about fishing, grow as an angler, just see some great and exciting offshore fishing adventures, you can start by subscribing to the channel. Hit that subscribe button. Join South Florida Saltwater Fishing family. All right, folks, we just had a good cold front pass through. A little chilly over the last couple of days. That's going to wait. It's going to warm up over the next, couple of days over through the weekend. Now, what you're going to notice is starting, I think, probably late Friday into Saturday, we're going to have another very slow moving cold front that's going to come through. It's going to take like 4 or 5 days to pass. So that's what we're going to be dealing with. You're going to see some rain, some activity like that. Nothing too horrible. But the one thing I can say is that, in starting probably Friday, our weather's going to look good. You all can get out there and throw some meat on the deck. All right, let's get on with some fishing. Right, we got Mike. Nice little snooky snook right here. Let me show you what it looks like. How about that? Yeah, went out there, got himself a nice little line sider. We're doing the skinny water stuff, right? Got that trolling motor back in the creeks and canals and stuff. Very nice little snookers. And we will go to Marlo Kennedy Aleva. She's got quite a few pictures this week. Is out there doing the skinny water thing. Got again another nice little snook. This lady is always on. I believe she fishes out of Lakeland. Man, always on the fish. Always did this backwater. You very rarely see her like doing deep stuff. This is her thing, and man, she's spot on with it. So nice snook. Let me show you the next one. She got a redfish here. Very nice redfish, single dot, like I like to call them. And this time she's on the boat, folks, instead of on her paddle board. And nice sheep's head. So, getting out there, cranking into species, definitely, got a good arsenal going on to where you can, and I can attest the sheep's head bite and all that, man. If you got to have a little know-how and a little bit of failure under your belt to go wrangle some sheep's head. All right. Very good. Thanks, Marlo, for always submitting and, putting a smile on our faces. Bringing some joy. All right, let's see. Let's go over some reef stuff, right? That's pretty much our shallow stuff. The snook, the pompano are biting. I've seen whiting biting. The sheep's head, obviously, right? The sheep's head are coming through, folks. If you've got that boat and you can get that at Palm Beach Inlet in the weekdays when the traffic ain't too bad, go on out there and do them. They're still rolling through. The numbers. That I couldn't promise you anything, but one thing I can promise you is if you hook it up, you better race to the top because the bull sharks will get you. Anyway, all right, so let's start looking on the reef, right? We got Tony had a 37-inch king that they gave away. All this was caught on a ledge and 100 feet out of Sebastian Inlet. They also let go a red grouper out of season and American red snapper also out of season. Hey, they'll get them. You do good stuff. But look at this, man. I mean, we got porgy, we got vermilion snapper, we got lane snapper, grunt, and of course, the nice cobia right there, the star of the show. So this is a great reef haul. 100 feet, man. You're bringing home dinner. No sense of trying to make even explain away this. This is awesome. So Tony, congrats. And thanks for the submission, boss. Really appreciate it. There we go. Sebastian out of Miami. So this is great, right? I looked at this and this is quite literally a little bit of everything. I mean, we got a couple lobster. We got some blue runners. We got a mutton snapper. We got a triggerfish. We got a yellow jack. I'm going to zoom in here. So That's a weird looking one. I'm not sure if that's a mahogany snapper or not, but up here is a leather jacket. Hey, more power to you. You know, those aren't exactly my favorite fish in the world, but hey, man, you know, I'm sure everybody's got it. This is what I say. If you're going out reef fishing, right? Maybe a little diving, maybe doing, I'm not sure if this was speared or not. I don't know, but this is a great reef haul, right? So, you know, sometimes you get the fish that you're like, you put in the work, you do it, and you come home with a nice bucket loaded dinner. Great catch, solid catch. All right, let's keep going on the reef. We got Captain Jim, best of Boynton, right? If you're looking for a charter boat out of Boynton, hook up with 4J's Charters, Captain Jim. You know, available. You know, he's getting quite popular these days, so you might want to book a little bit in advance. He's got his own line of jigs. As you can see here, they got the cobia on 18-pound cobia on one of his personalized jigs. They're pretty cool. And also, he's sponsored by Evolution Lures. So, you know, if, like I said, if you're looking for a charter boat captain, get out there, put you on some fish, hit up Captain Jim, the best of boys. Let's keep going on. Here we go. So, DMA Nikolai. I couldn't imagine how to pronounce the first name, so I just go with DMA. Kind of a light haul of lane snapper, right? Caught a bunch of black sea bass, lizard fish, and fought a shark before he bent the hook. Okay, so Fort Pierce Inlet. And again, solid haul. Nothing to complain about. I'm going home with dinner, right? And like I told him, you know, all days can't be home runs. They're just not going to be. You got something in the boat, you go home. Hey, perfect. Completely content. So the lane snappers, right? The snappers are still chewing, folks. Mike, 28 on this trip, 120 over 4 trips. I'm going to say they look like mangrove snappers. I'm not quite sure. It's kind of far away, but hey, we're down there. They're getting it done. Enjoying, and you know, hey, when you go out on a trip and you bring home a whole haul of fish, especially if you've made it into an adventure to get out there. All right, let's see what else we got going on. Here we go. Cindy, they hit up the mangroves and they got, look at this jumbo one right here. So again, folks, the snappers are biting. If you're trolling around and it's not your thing, or you like the reef, the reefs are, you know, starting to produce again, folks. So, you know, well, they've been producing. The snapper bite has been around for about a month or so now, and it's like I said, as the water warms up, this snapper bite will kind of settle down, simmer down a little bit. But for now, take advantage of it. Let's see, Chris again. The yellowtail bite. So like I said, folks, following suit. We got a porgy and a mangrove in there, but you know, overall, nice yellowtail bite. Again, folks, the reef. So when the trolling bite isn't there, the pelagics, you know, go for the reef. It's definitely, you know, it's always something different to do, you know. All right, Michael. Nice false albacore. He seemed to find the only one swimming around offshore right now, which is great. And they don't escape the white bucktail jig, as you can see right here. Very important. Key success to picking off and containing the population of false albacore tuna. All right, very good. Thanks for submissions. Here we go. Ray, a couple of nice kings. He says this is the nicest kings he's seen in a while. On live 8 pilchards, both before 10:30, right? That's typically your kingfish time. I tend to think, you know, they start chewing a little bit after daybreak, and then around, you know, 10 by 11, it's done. If you can stand fishing in the million boats that are on the reef by that time. 105 feet. Best king action he's seen in several months. Very good, Ray. Thanks a million for the submission. So we got the kings. We got, you know, I got a, hold on here. We're not done. Destin, out of Marathon, couple nice swordfish, right? So, yeah, I saw swordfish. A guy that I work with, he actually ended up landing about a 200-pound swordfish on Sunday. Here we go. So the swordfish bite, folks, if you're out there deep dropping, hey, get out there and get it. You know, you can get some quality fish. And in case you don't know, swordfish is 1 per person, up to 4 per boat. I believe. I could be wrong. All right. So, here we go. More Destin out of Marathon. So, right. So he's got the swordfish under his belt, and now we got, you know, some solid pink deep water muttons. Very nice looking haul right there. So, you know, obviously Marathon is producing. We got Scott with a half dozen sailfish. Awesome. I'm not sure if there was a tournament or anything, but folks were going out, and I got a couple of pictures of sailfish flags here. We also got Todd. Todd Prince is also a charter captain out of Hillsborough. Here we go. This is 7 sailfish flags. So obviously the sailfish were lit up for a couple of people this past week. Very good. Here we go. Todd, again, out of Palm Beach, right? So that was Hillsborough with the sailfish out of Palm Beach. Here we go. We got the nice wahoo and a sizable blackfin too. So these blackfin are going to be coming in like this here soon when the mahi starts showing up. So you'll have to, you know, that'll be choice time. Or are we going out and going and getting the big butterball tunas, or are we going to go out and do mahi tacos? So maybe a little bit of both. Here we go. Robert, out of St. Lucie. So we see a couple of wahoo swimming around, which is good, right? Very good. Always good. No dolphin in the feed this week. I'm sure there's a few out there, but nothing that we have to show off. So the wahoo, you know, a couple folks got some nice wahoo. Swordfish, like I said, I saw more swordfish this week than literally anything else. And, you know, but that's a specialized type of fishing. So that's what we're looking at, folks. Snappers are still biting, lanes, mangroves, yellowtails, and obviously we're heading into May for it. It's coming soon. That's when the mutton bite is really going to amp up, those shallow water muttons, because they're getting ready to go and you know, make baby muttons. And other than that, right, we got our jacks, right? Your jacks are always running on blue runners. Yellow jacks are biting. They're actually can be found in the inlets. You don't have to really head too far out. What else do we got going on? Obviously, sailfish had a good bite. The kings are making a return. Saw a few cobia too, but that's scattered. I've always thought a cobia bite is just like, it happens to be so incidental on the Tri-County area. It's very hard to target them. So that's what we're looking at, folks. I'm very excited to see the kingfish coming back around. That's awesome. All right, let's do some weather, shall we? Like I said, cold front just passed through. We got another one approaching, a very slow moving one, starting to roll in over the weekend. All right, so let's look at it right now. We're going to do this real quick, right? Like I said, there he is. You posted your... Oh, yes, he's right. I deeply apologize. Let me go find it. This is one of the biggest mahi that I ever saw, folks. I got to... Where did it go? I know you posted it. You posted it a couple of times. Where is it? It's not in there. We're going to find Sean's mahi. Trust me. Bear with me, folks. This is a mission now. Okay. Gonna have to go through our notifications and find it somehow. You guys are going to be amazed when you see this. I know I'm taking up everybody's free time, but it's okay. It'll be worth it. Trust me, when you see this. Here we go. There we are, folks. That is the biggest mahi I have ever seen. All jokes aside, they said they caught this at midnight. So I have caught dolphin before in the middle of the night too. A little bit bigger than that, but that is very cute. And Sean, yes, thank you. We had to make sure we did. Hey man, amazing. I mean, you know, sometimes people put a hook through that thing and send it back down as bait. Don't tell anyone you heard that from me. That's awesome. Always. Thanks, Sean. Wasn't going to leave you out. All right. Yeah. So let's talk about weather. Go back to weather. Okay. So we've got south winds right now. This is today. Let's look at tomorrow. Right. So again, we've got some southeast winds, 16 knots or so. But you're going to see we're going to have some calming down seas because, as you can see, the further up north you go, you've got like the wind wants to kind of go like this out away from. Oh, don't hit that way. Away from Florida, right? West Coast is always looking nice. They've got the wind, the leeward wind. So this is tomorrow morning, and the wind's just all over the place, right? It says 16 knots, but then the further up the coast you go, it's a hot mess, right? So we're gonna have this going on. And then it sort of gets its act together and wants to head in a unidirection as the afternoon wanes on. Of course, wind speed looks like it wants to die down a little bit, run down to around, the low double digits. Keys are, right in the high single digits. Not much. That's tomorrow. Heading into Friday. And like I said, folks, we're going to be warming up too. So this wind, as you can see, the wind is slowly petering out. And come late Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the ocean's going to be very doable. If we look up north, good Lord. If we look up north, we've got a 4-knot wind from the southwest. South winds all the way down and into the Keys, 6 knots from the northeast. So you can see that this wind is variable direction right here on Friday morning. There's saying there will be some sort of weirdness going on down in near Biscayne Bay. A little bit more funkiness. Let's see, Friday afternoon, wind still continuing to hang out at mid to upper single digits, not bad, 7 knots. Down in the Keys, we're lower, down around 5. Up in Vero, where we had like that non-existent wind in the morning, it's raised up to 10. But don't worry about this wind until I show you what they're predicting about the ocean. We're going to have some wind, which is nice, but we're going to have some nice seas. And then come Saturday, like I said, you're going to see this. It's a front. You don't really see it, but this is it right here. And it's going to take a couple of days to get past us. It's going to be cloudy with little spotty showers here and there for days. That's Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon, 5 knots. So this is when our seas are going to start, becoming significantly nicer. They're going to lay down to, about 1 to 2 feet. Down in the Keys, they'll be beautiful, looking like they're going to be beautiful too. And the West Coast, they'll probably be a little choppy once the front starts approaching us, because their wind is going to be heading towards the land instead of away, laying that sea down. But we're going to be looking pretty come Saturday afternoon into Sunday. Again, we'll start seeing some elevated winds. The calm wind day is going to be like Saturday morning into like early afternoon. After that, then the winds will start picking up, and we start getting our wind from the north, as you can see. So when you got this north wind, that's when that cold front is going to slowly, very slowly. It's a very large system moving slow. It's not gonna. You're not even going to really. You might not even notice it. Sunday afternoon, we start seeing our winds amp up again into Monday. Where they go. So that's when you start seeing this cold front really pass through. Like you're seeing, like I said, it's taking days. It's actually going to form and seems like it almost wants to get stronger as the days go in. So just be prepared for that. Like coming next week, we're going to have that front actually passing through. And it looks like, always on the back side of that cold front is when that wind starts to pick up. So it's almost as if it's looking like Windy here is predicting that the front should pass sometime Sunday evening, and that's when we'll get those drafting winds following it. All right, so let's go on ahead and go look at our waves. We'll start with tomorrow, right? Again. So Waves 3 foot at 8 seconds. So not too overtly bad. Let's look down at the Keys. 3 foot 5 seconds. So the Keys got a little bit of choppiness going on down here. And of course, you can see that it's this light shade of blue here means that there's pretty much, it's off the charts low. I got ahead of myself. Folks, if this is your first time joining the report, welcome to the show. All these next 4 websites are going to use. The links to them are in the description. Again, these are forecasting models for trying to help you plan a trip. Windy, which is what we are currently using, is great. You can click and point. As you've seen me click and point, it will tell you exactly what you're looking for depending upon what chart you're in. Rain accumulation, wind, wave heights. And also down at the bottom of Windy, there's a little color-coded chart that coincides with the colors you are seeing on this graphic. The lighter the color towards blue, the smaller the waves. The larger towards the purples and the reds, the larger the waves. All right, so quick little lesson on how to use Windy. So tomorrow morning, about 4 foot 8 seconds, starting to settle down in the afternoon. Like I said, heading into Friday, so you can see that 2 foot at 6 seconds. Keys, probably about the same stuff. Yep, go back there, up in Port St. Lucie. Let's look where we're at, because I got Mr. Mike Long up there. 2 foot 5 seconds, so not bad. No, and it again, it's going to be settling down. This is Thursday afternoon. Okay, again, not much more, but you can see the screen getting lighter, so our waves are going to start being smaller. Friday, 2 foot. Friday afternoon, 2 foot. And when you see it lightening and lightening and lightening, heading towards, like these shades of that are off the charts, hey man, that's good stuff. Come Sunday, Saturday, we're supposed to have really light stuff. So I realize that, the weekends can be difficult because of the overcrowding. But hey, Saturday is looking like, a dynamite day to get out there if you are one that don't like the bumpy stuff. Saturday, 1 foot up and down the coast until you get a little bit further up north, and you're looking at 2 foot down in the Keys. I mean, we're looking beautiful for several hundred miles of coastline to, get her done, folks. Yeah, perfect. We've been waiting for this for a while. It's, I can't say it's been a long, cold winter, but it's been a winter, and we deserve some, break. We're Florida. We ain't Ohio or any of that cold stuff. All right. Sunday, again, a little bit of an uptick. Like I said, a little bit of an uptick, but not much. Still beautiful in the morning. And as the afternoon wanes on, right? So now you can see the real effect come wave height and water push. Remember, cold fronts push a ton of water, trillions upon trillions of gallons of water being pushed by the atmospheric disturbance, which is why you see the waves starting to get bigger Sunday afternoon, and come Monday, you will see it. You can actually, if I zoom out, you'll see where the water is going to start being pushed, right? And remember, we've got that wind starting to rip, so we're going to start seeing waves increase Monday into Tuesday. So there it is. And, come Tuesday, you would actually see that push of water even coming further down in between the Bahamas and us. And yeah, so that's what we're looking at, folks. Like I said, the weekend's good. After that, early into next week, it's going to be a little messed up, but we're starting to, wind down winter, folks, which is a good thing, because, the cold front, it actually, it's good for fishing, but it's cyclical, right? People get impatient, and we're just ready for, I'm pretty much under the impression that 10 out of 10 South Floridians are ready for the dolphin to roll through. All right, let's go on ahead and look at our rain, right? So see rain there. I don't think we'll see much rain with this system, maybe a little bit, because it's a big system, but I think we're going to have spotty, kind of isolated showers. It's not going to be a huge blanket of rain that's going to cover the state for Lord knows how long. All right, so tomorrow morning, dry. Tomorrow afternoon, we got some stuff, again, moisture. So let me explain windy, right? When you see this blue and we're looking for rain, this is just moisture in the sky. I would say, if anything, it might produce a small. This is a shower, right? So Friday afternoon, you can probably expect to see some showers on the north end of Key Largo, heading into Card Sound Road and all that stuff right there. US 1 heading north. That's that's that area right there. Might be a little bit of a sticky travel to work if you are heading up from the Keys. Friday afternoon, just moisture on the coast, not much. Saturday, again, we're going to dry out with the approach of the cold front. And then you go Saturday afternoon again. So they're saying Saturday afternoon, we're going to have the likelihood of some good showers. And yes, I looked at the percentage. It's something around 50%. So it looks like, your percentage and a chance for rain is going to be all afternoon, right? So typical summertime pattern, Florida. But it's just because of the approaching cold front. And then as we head into Sunday, again, our chances for rain and all that stuff because of this cold front are, they're increased. We got 50% chance of rain both days, right? And then as we head into Monday, the chance of rain dies down, but our wind picks up on the backside of that. So it starts to, make getting offshore difficult. But hey, the inshore folks, the canal hunters, all that goodness, man. More power to you, folks. All right, so that is our wind, rain, and wave. All right, let's take a look at WINDFINDER. So now we're going to go over another website. This is WINDFINDER, which is basically the numeric version of the graphic we just saw. So if you don't like looking at graphics and colors and trying to figure that out, this one is more my cup of tea. Honestly, I like looking at the numbers and going, okay. So gives you wind direction, wind speeds, right? We've got temperature, we've got wave direction, we've got wave heights, we've got the period between waves. So you can see where I'm going. This is all kind of spelt out for you rather than having to go look at windy and guess. Now, the thing about windy is you can actually look at your more specific locale instead of a generality. Like here we are set towards Fort Lauderdale. Windy, you can actually go and, like I showed you can pinpoint exactly where you want. So let's take a look. See, tomorrow we got the southeast winds, of course, southeast winds. So they're jiving right now with what Windy said. When you've got big discrepancies and it's all over the place, it can make forming some sort of educated forecast rather tricky. But right now we're jiving, right? We got our waves from the north at 3 to 4 feet. They're saying there's a swell. So there's a little discrepancy between there. That would, honestly, I haven't even looked at the ocean lately. Been very busy. If you're unsure of a discrepancy between, let's say, Windy is saying, hey, you've got a 5-second period, which is not a swell. And here we're saying we got a 10, 11-second period, which is a swell. You can always, there's the inlet webcams and stuff like that. I urge you to use the live feeds of these things to your advantage. Don't just use the electronic AI, buoy oriented algorithms that show you. It's again, there's lots of mathematics that go into forming these forecasts, but the same thing. If you click on a webcam and you look at it, you can go, hey man, those guys are wrong, man. Let's get out on the boat. What are we wasting time for? Just bear that in mind, right? All right, so Friday, variable winds, got a little bit of a shift, and then it starts cranking in as our front approaches into Saturday, right? Low wind speeds for both days. Early in the morning, kicks up in the afternoon, which is always that onshore breeze, right? Look at our wave heights, right? We go down 1 to 2, 1 foot. Very nice. And we're looking at 5 to 6 seconds. So the period kind of jives. What they're saying for tomorrow, I'm not sure. If I can give you a honest yes, it is a swell, I would, but I can't. I can only tell you that there's a discrepancy between what I'm seeing here and what we are witnessing out there on Windy. Like I said, when the sun is up, look at your webcam, see what you got going on. Friday, Saturday, again, low wave heights, good period, 5 to 6 second, not horrible. Low wind speeds. Sunday into Monday, again, here comes our cold front, right, folks? This is when so as you can see here, the cold front looks like it wants to sort of start amping up our wind speeds come probably the afternoon of Sunday, right? And then we don't see much in the way of a temperature drop, right? But we do see amped up wind speeds heading in, and you can see this is after the cold front has passed, but our winds, we're still in the 70s, right? So it's not much of a cold front. I would say a cool front, atmospheric disturbance, whatever you would like to call it. So that's what we're looking at there, folks. All right, let's go over to moon phase. We're finally in some good fishing stuff, right? Is the moon going to work out? Can some of us folks get out there and do a wahoo troll? Let's go and check it out, right? I bet you we're in there because last week we weren't. So right now we are at a 64% waxing moon phase. All right, for those of you folks that don't know, waxing means we're heading towards the full moon. Waning means we're heading towards the dark moon. Right now we are in the waxing phase, so we're heading towards the full moon. So that is today. Tomorrow, Thursday, 74%. Friday, 83%. So before we go any further, for all you wahoo junkies out there, which is, I don't blame you. We're looking good right now. When we go over our tide phases, we shall see if everything is going to line up. So right now we're good. The folks who would like to get out on the weekend and go for wahoo, you're looking golden. You are these couple of 3 days ahead of the full moon. Okay, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, definitely a doable. Sunday, yes. Monday, we're full moon Monday to Tuesday. Okay, so those are the days that you want to try to avoid. The mackerel bite is before. Now it's not a set. Sometimes you can hit them on the full moon. It is what it is. For some reason, the mackerel bite turns on when we approach full moon. So that's our moon phase. All right, let's check out the tide chart and let everybody get on with life. So our tides are very important, right? For folks that fish the inlets, fish right near it, except, of course, if you're fishing for sheep's head in the Palm Beach Inlet. That's a totally different fishery. And what I'm going to go over here right now does not have to do with that. If you're fishing an inlet, you got to fish the outgoing tide. All the folks on the jetties, the people out on the boats drifting past the inlet, trolling past the inlet, jigging, chumming, everything. That tide has to be going out. Tide going out pushes out all the microorganisms. Bait fish come in and eat that. Big fish come in and eat bait fish. Cycle of life. Ignore that process if you are fishing sheep's head in the Palm Beach Inlet. Completely different fishery. The bite actually turns on in the incoming tide. However, you have to be on a boat to do this. You can't be on the shore. It don't work. And even if you do get hooked up from the shore, you are guaranteed to not get it past the sharks. So let's go back to regular inlet world. Outgoing tide, right? So we've got an outgoing tide in the morning. We've got an incoming tide in the middle of the day and an outgoing tide as the sun is setting. So these are what I like to say the two prime times when you need an outgoing tide. Fish are cyclical eaters too. They're like humans. They eat in the morning, they want breakfast, and they kind of eat at night. They want dinner. The worst place you could possibly have an outgoing tide is in the middle of the day. When the sun's all the way up, get through the shadows, fish scatter, and don't bite. So right now, as you can see, Thursday, we've got our outgoing tides in morning and afternoon. Perfect for that wahoo troll. Especially over Saturday when you've got it. Friday and Saturday, those 2 days, you're already rolling as the sun's coming up. So, getting out there and using that water flow to your advantage, hey, good deal. The jetty folks that will be out there fishing, hey, they're going to hit the right cycle. Is what it is. Very good for the mackerel troll. The kings should be, starting to, we should start on a hot bite with them coming up soon too. So Sunday, March 1st, folks, again, top of the tide change right as the sun's coming up. Can't beat it. And going into Monday and Tuesday, when the weather starts to turn south, it'll be a little bit, you know, be right in a slack tide as the sun comes up. So that's what we got going on, folks. All right, let's get ready and let everyone get out of here. Folks, if you are on Facebook, I'm going to ask you to go on ahead and join. Ask to join South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report, right? It's a great little private group. This is a group. This is not my Facebook page. This is not the YouTube channel. This is a private group that I formed so that we can get information from local anglers, like everyone who's enjoying and you know, contributing. That way we can put out a solid report for Florida and say, hey, this is what's biting and where the bite is at, and possibly take away some intel to help you sort of plan your next trip. Now, every Monday we have a little brag board post that I put up. If you submit a post, you're guaranteed to be showcased. And you saw I dug through and went after Sean's massive mahi too. So, you know, we got to do it. And great stuff, you know, Captain Jim with the young man last week, sailfish, and we do it. Again, a couple of questions. It's a private group, folks. What's your favorite fish? Are you going to obey by the rules? If you can't answer certain questions, you can't be part of the group and have fun. I don't know what to tell you, but that's how it goes. Okay. So there you go. South Florida Saltwater Fishing Report on Facebook. Come on, join the fun, folks. Okay. I'm gonna let everybody get out of here. We got some stuff to do, and you know, if I get out on the boat this weekend, that'd be great. I'll see you out there. If not, you know, just know that I'm dreaming about fishing. All right, folks. All right. Till next Wednesday, folks. Let's go on ahead and get this done. South Florida Saltwater Fishing, going wherever the cool wind takes us.